Chris Young back again for oldermuscles.com. This time we're going to be talking about these Factor meals. Our household recently signed up for some Factor meals, and for folks who are unaware of what that is and what I'm talking about, Factor is basically a meal plan service in which customers pick various amounts of pre-made meals, like these right here, to be delivered to their homes on a scheduled basis. They come in a box like this, and the box has some climate control stuff and a couple of ice packs in it. They seem to be really popular right now, and they definitely advertise a lot on social media, which is how we found out about it. It's pretty common to see a 50% off offer from Factor, and that's what we initially did. We signed up for 6 meals using the 50% off discount coupon, and that coupon also provided for free shipping. And so with the 50% off and the free shipping, it worked out to about $7 per meal. After the trial run, we were offered a series of lesser coupons, like 40% off, 30% off, and they just kind of slow walk you into it. And after all the coupon offers have worn off, the base price for each meal is about $13.99, at least in my area. They have you punch in your zip code to see if they deliver in your area first off, and then they quote you a price. That's what it worked out to where I'm at here in the Willamette Valley of Oregon. When you sign up for the service, you go and pick which type of meal plan you want. You get to choose from Calorie Smart, Chef's Choice, Keto, Protein Plus, Carb Conscious, GLP-1 Balance, fiber filled, and something that's called a flexitarian. We ultimately just went with the Chef's Choice. Seemed generic, and so we figured that's what we would try. Bring up the company website here. As you'll see, they also sell various supplements and provide nutritional coaching if you need it, in addition to the basic meal plan service. Our initial order, we did 6 meals, and then we did one subsequent order of 4 meals, and that came in this box right here. We did ultimately cancel the service after our 2 orders, and they always ask for feedback on why you did it, and ultimately it was the cost. As the cost crept up, we didn't feel it was as worth it. For this video, I'm going to discuss why the Factor meal plan is worth it, as well as why it may not be worth it, to give you some things to consider. So let's start off with why it may be worth the price. The most obvious benefit is the convenience factor. You don't have to drive to the store, you don't have to map out any of your meal plans, you don't have to cook anything beyond popping one of these mealy dealies into the microwave. So if you're not skilled in the art of portion control and don't want to put in the research to create a balanced meal for whatever reason, Factor meals really help you out a lot. This is one of the meals right here. Like I said, our second order, we ordered 4 meals. 3 of the packagings are below, and then this is the 4th one that hasn't been eaten yet. Flip it over. You can see kind of what just the packaging and stuff looks like. This is going to be a shredded chicken and pesto creamed spinach tortellini. It's got obviously all of the ingredients, of which there are many. And then for this particular one, it's going to be 520 total calories for the whole meal, of which 30 grams come from protein. I'll slide this on out of here. As you can see, it's pretty much a standard microwaved meal, and that kind of leads me into the second reason why you'd want to order these. These taste really good. Not just better than any microwave diet food I've ever tried, they're better than any microwaved meal that we've ever come across of any brand. Somehow, someway, the folks at Factor have really done an amazing job of making food that tastes great, even though it's prepared somewhere else and sent to your house and you throw it in the microwave. The end product's really delicious. It really is. About 20 years ago, I was gifted some Nutrisystem meals, which is the first and only time that I've ever tried a meal plan service, and those were terrible, and that's putting it nicely. My son, who's a little bit on the picky side of eating, he even tried these, and he thought that they were amazing. So now that we've talked about why it's worth it, let's talk about why it may not be worth the price. To state the obvious, paying $13.99 for every meal is not something that everyone can afford, and for that matter, in these current economic times, many people cannot afford to pay $13.99 for even one meal per day. There's definitely cheaper ways to get yourself fed. In my personal opinion, when the meals were 50% off and roughly $7 a meal, that was a solid deal. As I said earlier in this video, as the price for the meals kept creeping upward, it gets tougher to justify the price per meal. So if money is not a factor, then the convenience is definitely worth it. However, if money is a factor, at some point the price per meal becomes a hindrance to continuing the service. Furthermore, at the end of the day, the meals are prepared from afar and are microwaved. Objectively speaking, and all meal ingredients and inputs being equal, even if the meals are never frozen, they're not going to be as healthy as if you went to the store, got quality ingredients, took them immediately home, and prepared them fresh. Factor has some kind of proprietary way for making their meals taste great when microwaved after the fact, but the meal's list of ingredients contain things that are not needed when someone is preparing meals at home. Let's flip this over and we'll take a look. Obviously there's some amount of like preservatives and things to put in there. Like I doubt you're going to be making stuff at home that has guar gum. I think that's carob bean gum, xanthan gum. And it has like powdered cellulose, anti-caking agent. Those are things that you're not going to have if you just get stuff at home and it doesn't need to be put into a box and shipped somewhere, even with it being shipped climate controlled. Folks who have been following the articles that I post on the website know that I'm on a calorie deficit diet. I'm on day 58 or 59. I lose track anymore. The days start to blur together. But I currently have the discipline to basically eat like a robot. I eat for function, not for flavor right now. I have no problem putting in the research to create a balanced meal that is portion controlled and contains the right amount of protein, carbohydrates, and fats for my needs. I can also do it for a fraction of the price of these factor meals. My post-workout meal, as I've shared before, is 1 baked skinless chicken breast, a baked sweet potato, and then 1 serving of the Optimum Nutrition protein mix that I've already reviewed on this YouTube channel. All of that gives me the right amount of nutrients and the right ratios of proteins and such, and that works out to like $2. I don't mind putting out the extra proactive effort to meal prep. If all of that describes you and you're balling on a budget, well then factor meals are probably not your thing. With that being said, if you're watching this video, chances are, and no offense, you may not fit into that category. So in summary, the bottom line is that whether or not factor meals are quote unquote worth it, it's situation specific. If you're someone who's just flat out unable, for whatever reason, to stay on track with your nutritional goals, or you just don't even know where to start, and you can afford these, then I would say factor meals are worth it. If that's what's going to be the difference between success and failure, and you can afford to pay the per meal cost, well yeah, then go for it. Conversely, if you're short on funds, these meals can cost considerably more than if you made these same things fresh at home, and to some degree, your at-home meals will be a little bit healthier if you're using quality ingredients. But I'll be the first to note that if you don't have good culinary skills and you just don't really know what you're doing in the kitchen, these are going to potentially taste better to some degree, and going the at-home route takes a lot of research, discipline, and effort. So you're going to need to evaluate your situation, do your homework and due diligence to know what you're getting into, and then proceed accordingly. I will end by pointing out that my household's experience is that this meal plan is easy to either delay if you want to take a week off of doing it, or to just cancel it altogether. Of course, if for some reason that changes, there's some fine print in the agreement that we signed up for or whatever, I'll make sure to note that in the comment section of this video after the fact. Hopefully this review provides you some context if you're considering taking up factor meals on their advertised deals. As always, thank you for the support, and if you want to find out more information about nutrition, always go to oldermuscles.com and check out our nutrition category. Catch you folks next time.